Hi there, welcome to my ICT Hub, where we make ICT concepts easier. This is John, your ICT tutor. Today we're going to be looking at website authoring. We're going to be focusing on October-November 2024, paper 3 of the ICT. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's dive in. Okay, the question starts here from file management. Task 3 says create a new folder called N24. Now in the source files, what I'm going to locate only the following files and store them in your N24 folder. I go to where my source file is. I want to create a new folder. You just right click and go to your new, create a new folder. Okay, call that N24. Then I want to locate the files 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm actually holding down my control key as I select this file, so I don't have to select. I select just the exact ones that I need. Now I can copy that, so just drag and drop. Okay, yes, so now that is pasted in there. So now I have the files there, like the question says. All right, we have 5, yes, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now task 4 says web page. You will create a web page to help trainers learn HTML. Very nice. I like that. Now let's go on. It says open the file, open the style sheet n24web.css in an editor. I'm making use of the Microsoft's expression. So let's take a look at that. So I want to open this. Okay, here we are. Microsoft expression. That's the style sheet. Let's move on. It says add a new class called red. Now basically in the style sheet, what we do is that you define properties of various tags that are used in the HTML and create properties that you want to be influenced or to be affected on those tags. So whenever you attach this style sheet, these styles will be cascaded on wherever you make use of these tags. Now tags are just listed directly with curly brackets. The properties are in curly brackets. You see the attribute, the values, and then the attributes and the values which you want to add to those tags. But if you're going to create a class, you don't just list the tag. It starts with a dot before we now have the name of the class. So let's read the question again. It says add a new class called red. That's the name of the class. Now what's the property that sets the font color? Now the color, the property we want to add here is the font color. And what does this set it to? It's set to hexadecimal code for red when its classes applied. Now, it's specified here is only red. We don't want. I'm going to explain what we mean. The hexadecimal actually combines 3 different colors: the red, the green, and the blue. So we are looking at font color. Let me try and use my MS Word to explain that. Now, okay, here we are in the MS Word environment. Let me just play. When you are applying the color coding, the hexadecimal color code, it starts with a hashtag, then R for red, G, and B, something like that. Okay, let me make it bigger so you can see. Now where R stands for the red components, G stands for the green component, and B stands for the blue component. So we are going hashtag FF or something like this to turn on the red, because this is a hexadecimal. The highest value in hexadecimal is F, the lowest is 0. So if you have FF for red, then you have to have something for green. If I don't want the green, I make it 0, 0, and 0, 0. Each component comes with 2 values. So you have 2 values to mix up the intensity of the color you want. But in this question, we want only red. So we're going to be looking at giving only the red components. Okay, now let's create our class. Okay, here we have, it's like I said, starts with dots, then red is the name of the class. Open your curly brackets to add the properties. Then which property are we adding? It says the font color. So the font color is added with just the word color. Now, luckily, color is only when you are dealing with text. And take note of the spelling here. It's C-O-L-O-R, not E-U-R like it's spelled in the question. When writing your HTML or your CSS, you use color is spelled with L-O-R, not L-O-U-R. Now, followed by, after the name of the property is followed by the colon, then we want to add the value. Now, the value here does not need quotes unlike in HTML. Remember, we are using the hashtag because we want to add the color. And we use color when you are specifying to text, like a font color. Every other thing like background color, it comes with the name background color, possibly you have something like you border color, but when it is just color, then we are specifically talking about text. So here, let's add the intensity, the hashtag, FF for red, 00 for green, and 00 for the blue, RGB. And close with your semicolon, and we could bring the other text here. Let me zoom in for those who didn't see, so you can see what I'm talking about. So here we have the red dots, red for the class, color for the attribute name, followed by a colon, then the hashtag FF to turn on the red, 00 to turn off green, 00 to turn off blue, and you finish with a semicolon before you can start another property or another declaration, sorry. Then, but here in this situation, we don't have another declaration, so we are closing back the curly brackets to end there. Okay, let me zoom out, and that has been done. Second thing now says add a new class again called center. See how it is spelled, C-N-T-R-E. This is the British way of spelling, but when you are going to be coding, you will see it's going to be spelled in E-R. So take note of that. Sometimes those questions are usually asked in theories. Now it says a new class called center, that center aligns text when the class is applied. Now center align is a paragraph editing, but let's quickly go and create that class. Okay, so for the benefit, so you can see, permit me to zoom in a little. Okay, so I go with center. Okay, take note of the way it is spelled, center from the question. I open my curly brackets. Now I want text align because I want it to align the text. I have that. Double click on that. Then I'm going to be, now look at the way it is spelled here, like I said, it's spelled center, E-R, but the name here is R-E. So let's pick on center there, double click, and then we end with a semicolon. Once again, I want it to be on the same line. I delete that and come behind this and delete that. So that declaration has been, so the text align is center. So you want to turn off the zoom now. So you can see I've added the red and I've added the center as requested. So let's turn this off. Let's see the question. It says save your style sheet. Okay, so let's save that. That has been saved. Take a screenshot to show the contents of your style sheet and place in your evidence document. Make sure all the contents are clearly visible. This is evidence 13. Now, if you look at it, we can't see everything at a go here. So what I advise is possibly you have to do your screenshots 2 times to show the contents of your style sheets. So there, let's go to the evidence document. So here we have evidence 13. Okay, evidence 13. Then the first screenshot, let's go for sniping tool. Take the first screenshot there. It's going to be, try and show the name of the file. Okay, I have this, and I paste that. Then I need to complete it. It stopped here, so I want to move up all the way. Okay. Right, down to center. Then let me check where it stopped. Initially, it stopped at H2. Okay, we want to take a screenshot again. Do the sniping tool. Okay, start at H2. So this. It's not a problem. You could still screenshot everything. They will trace it out. Just so that it will be certain that you are not trying to be funny. You actually have the whole thing, but you had to scroll to show. But on the other hand, if you also cut it or you crop off the image and start from H2, it will not be, you won't be penalized because you can see that you stopped here at line 23. So if I go back to do a screenshot of this, let me take a snipe tool from line 23. Like I said, where they stopped, and could just do a screenshot from this to pick the rest. This looks kind of better. And drop it there. Okay, I could just delete this. Yes, so I want to reduce this a little so that the lower one can come in. Or better still, I could just push the 2 down to the next page. Yes, okay, so I think that's better. So this way, everything, you can see the red and you can see the center has also been inserted in the screenshot. Now let's go to the next question. Okay, now we have to open and examine the web page called n24web.htm. Okay, so let's go to the web page. Here we have our source files n24web.htm. So here we have web.htm. Okay, we are not opening it in a browser for now. Sorry, let's open it with expression. Okay, here we have the web page displayed here. Okay, the good thing, they have started the web page for you. Now let's take a look at the next question. It says the web page and attracted style sheets, the attached style sheets, pardon my abstraction, the attached style sheets have been created for you. Okay, so one step, you already have a structure has been created for you, while the web page appears like this. Okay, so let's confirm we have a merged row first. We have merged across for B, 1, 2, 3 here, and the last one is F. So let's take a look at that structure. If we can actually see that, let me make this bigger. Sorry, I want to maximize. Okay, so we have the first merged row. Good. Here we have, this is B. Let's check. We have C here. We have D, yes. We have E and F. All right. Exactly just like it was said in the question. Now let's move on. It says, each table cell in the diagram is identified with a letter which must not appear on your final web page. Okay, it's not actually on the web page for now, so it's just for you to identify the different sections of the diagram. Now we have, or the structure of the table rather, edit the HTML so that the table borders do not appear on the final web page. Now, very important, you want to add an attribute to the table to make sure that the borders do not appear on the final web page. Even though from what we saw, likely the borders are not turned on, but to be double sure, we want to ensure that the borders are turned off. So to do that, you want to go to your table. You want to go to your table tag. Like this particular program tries to ensure that you use less of the programming skills. But here we want to turn off the borders. So I'm going to quickly go down to this. Let me zoom. All right, so I'm zooming in. Let's quickly zoom in. All right, here in the table tag, I want to add the attribute border, which is going to be turned off to be 0. So now that will ensure that the table does not have any border. The other way, you could also use the tool up here, but I don't like here where you have tables and you say no borders. So that way, but this is going to create another style. It's going to create a scripting language which it's out of the scheme of IGCSE. We do not require you using a scripting language. What they basically want to see is using the HTML and the CSS. So this way we have used an attribute to turn off the border, or you could have even make use of a style. The other way also, instead of typing in, you could make use of a style. Yeah, used to this, turn on a style, because the presentation. Then you want to turn off the border and make the value 0. Okay, that way you are sure that the border is not going to be displayed at the final output. Let's save that and let's take a look at it. You click here, let's open it on. All right, so you can see the table border is not displayed. Okay, the table border is not displayed, so let's continue the question. All right, now replace the text, okay, so that it not appear first. Now replace the text A candidate ZZZ999 with your name, center number, and candidate number. Okay, so now we want to go to the, okay, so I'm looking for this. So let's replace your name by, okay, I'm going to replace that with my name, John. It's you're going to be replacing John candidates. My center number, there is going to be G, 1, 2, 3, and 0001. All right, that has been replaced. Pardon me. Now we're going to say save the web page in your N24 folder within file name web page. Okay, followed by your name, center number. All right, so let's do that. Okay, so we want to save it, so we go to the file, save as. Let me, oh sorry, I didn't copy that. I copy, paste, send to number, and then need number. Alright, after saving the file, let's continue. Now it says set all the text in cell A into style H1. So you want to highlight the text in HA, go to your paragraph, and you want to set the style to H1. Okay, that is done. If you check the tags, yes, we have H1 there. The next thing says set the text web development layers in cell B into style H2. Just that statement. So we want to go to B. Let me scroll this gradually. Okay, just this text web development layer. And if you look here, it has actually been separated. So I just want to highlight web development layers and set it to H2. The question says we should set that to H2. So come to the paragraph styles. There you want to set it to H2. Right? Yes. Now the next one says set all other paragraphs of the text in cell B to style H3 in style H3. So I want to highlight down from here to all of the text, and let's pick here and select it to style H3. Right, that is done. Let's move on. It says apply the class red to only the text 1, that's the content layer, 2 presentation layer, and 3 the behavior layer. So let's locate it. We have 1 the content layer, 2 here presentation layer, and 3 yes. So let's highlight the first one. Highlight it, content layer. Remember we have created that class red. If you look down here, it's actually here. So another way you could just go to format. I could apply directly from there, but I just want to show you. Come to CSS style and say apply style. This will bring this up if this section was not there before. So now we want to apply the style red. Click on this for this class and apply it to that. Very simple. Come to the second one, highlight again, presentation layer. Come down here, click on this and apply the style. Then go to the third one that says behavior layer. Click on this and apply the style. Now the 3 has been applied as requested. Set the text in cell C and D into style H2 with a class set to red. Here we want to go up here. So we are going to HTML, the C. Highlight that. Okay. First you want to set it to H2. Then you want to apply the class red. Do the same for this. Highlight it. Set to H2. Then apply the text formatting, class red. Okay, that has been done. Now for here we say set both paragraphs of the text in cell E into style H3 with a class set to center. Now we want to go down to cell E. That's where you have your name. Okay, if you look at it here, we have 2 paragraphs, web edited by, then your name. So we want to highlight the 2. We want to set it to H3. Like the question said, we should set that to H3. We have H3. Now let's look at something. If you highlight and let's set it. Okay, for the center, it's not display. Let's move this up. Okay, yes, so we can see the styles. And let's apply this. Notice nothing happened. Now this is because the H3, the style in that class center is a paragraphic style. That is center aligning to the center. And this H3 is also a paragraph style. So to apply this, you rather add that class to an existing paragraphic style tag that is already existing, I beg your pardon, tag that is already existing instead of replicating the span and the H3. So I want to undo that. Ctrl Z. I rather come in here, click my cursor within H3, the tag there, and you want to apply the style. Yes, and it has been added to the paragraph style H3, and you can see, so that particular class is an addition to H3 instead of, but in this situation, because we have span, this editing for red was a text editing, not the paragraphic editing. And that's why this could easily be applied to a paragraph. Okay, let's continue if you get that. The next question now says, set the first line of the text in cell F into paragraph style, just paragraph. Then set the other 3 paragraphs in cell F as bulleted list. Okay, so let's go to F. The first paragraph you click there is make sure that you can. Okay, so let's highlight make sure that you can. And we want to set that to paragraph style. So you have just the paragraph style. Okay, good. Now the other text in there, set to bulleted style. If you look up here, we have our bullets. Here there's numbering, and this is bullets. So if I click on that, you notice it applies to only one, just like in MS Word, all together, because it's a text markup. So to separate that into different paragraphs here, not just like in the code there is no separation. We are just seeing it, but because once you don't have a separation in the code that says they're in different paragraphs, it would all be seen the whole text as one. So to separate that one, now that I have placed the bullets, I want to come to where the second paragraph starts. Let's take a look at it. Starts at insert. So I'm going to locate insert, hit my enter key. Yes, and that creates a paragraph. The next paragraph starts at use. Okay, I locate use here. Hit my enter key. Perfect. And the 3 of it has been applied to the bullets list. Okay, so that is done. Let's move on to the next page. And it says set the title of the web page to web programming tips. Okay, here we want to create the title for the web page to web programming tips. Okay, the title of the web page, let's go. Now to do that, we have to go to the head section of the web page. All right, here we are in the head section. Permit me to zoom in so you can see clearly, because everything we can see here, it's just the body. So we can't carry out any editing from the body. Here in the head section that we apply, we have to come into the section here in the code aspect. There are 5 things that are usually added to the heading from IGCSE syllabus. We have either the title, then we have the links, that is for our style sheet. We have the meta tags, we have the base, which is for the default web page and the default target, and lastly we also make use of scripting, but in this text we are not, or rather in IGCSE we don't use scripting language. That's the behavioral layer. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this. Okay, this is not the title. I'm going up to the title here in the head section. So I want to open, hit my enter key and open a tag for the title. Once I start typing there, I should see title. Good. Double click on that. If I close this, yes, the title tag appears that way. So did I copy that title? I don't think so. Let me zoom out. Right, let me copy the title. And let's go back in. Let me zoom in again so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to place it in between these tags. Yeah, so the title has been placed in there. It's going to apply on the tab. Let's zoom out and see what else we need to do. Next thing says in the HTML, now we are back to the HTML, set the name of the default target window to _self. Now this is, like I said, one of the things that is done in the head section. We have the base. To set the default target window to _self, we use the tag in the head section called the base. So let's go and locate the base tag. Zoom in, please. So we want to still continue with the head section. It could be above or you could place it below, so long as it's in between the opening and the closing head tags. So you have your base. Okay, that's base there. Then I want to include the target. Look for targets, and I want it to be _self, and then we want to close this. Okay, so now that has been set to target. Let's go with this. All right, and the next thing is, now there are 2 things that you can set in this base. You can either set the target or the default window, that is the default link. If you want to set your default href, that's hyperlink reference, you could actually set it. So your questions could come either set a default hyperlink reference or the default target window. But for this, we have the default target. Now we have the next question says, set the text in cell C as a link to open the web page this dot hit as HTML dot HTM. Okay, so let's want to create a link on the text. What's the text again? Cell C. So let's go to C. This was A, B, and C is the HTML. So we want to create a link around it. So let's highlight it. And we want to insert a link. So we want to insert a link, hyperlink. We click on hyperlink. It's now going to ask. Now for the web page, we say that is html.htm. And here we have html.htm. That's the page we are linking it to. Page target file was not specified, target frame, so we don't do anything. We just click on that and the link will be created around that text. The next one is to set a text in cell D, set a text in cell D as a link to open the web page, that's css.html, now in a new window called _blank. Okay, we are opening css.html, so we go down again to highlight the text. This program actually tries to avoid you, or you can avoid using too much of the codes. It has a lot of things that could help you with the code. So we want to css.htm. Now the target frame was specified a new window _blank. We confirm that. Yes. So we'll click on OK, and that is done. You can see it. We have href, we have a target _blank has been created. Let's continue. The next question now says, place a metadata in the appropriate source section of your HTML. Now, the metadata, like I said, the meta is placed in the head section of the web page. It's usually placed in the head section of the web page. All right, so what are we placing there in the metadata? It says, define the character set as UTF-8 and also add a description of the web page. So almost everything that is need to be done in the head section is actually done in this year's question. Let's zoom in again so you can see what I'm going to do. So after the base, now we want to add a meta tag. So I'm going to open the meta. Okay, click there. Now I'm going to be adding the character set to UTP-8, TP-8. Okay, and I'm going to close that. Then the next thing it says we should also add a meta tag description. So I'm opening another meta tag. I have multiple meta tags. The name for that, it's only the character set that comes this way. All other is description. Description. And then the content is going to be, I could copy back the name, the description using the name of the web page as web programming tips as my description. Copy that, and I want to paste it back there. Okay, web programming tips, yes, or you could say web page to teach, give any description you like that fits into that situation. Basically, it's so you want to close that, and that's it's going to be dash. Okay, so let's take out the zoom. So that's how to insert the meta tags for that. Then we save your web page. Let's save the web page. Okay, and take a copy of your HTML source and place this in your evidence document. Now, taking a copy is not a screenshot. Take note, the question didn't say take a screenshot. It says take a copy, meaning that we need you to copy the whole HTML source and paste it in your evidence document. So that's evidence 21. So you're going to click here, select all, Control A, you copy it using the Control C, and let's go to so that's evidence 21. I'm having that as evidence 21, and I want to paste everything there. Permit me to turn off the bold and paste it again. Okay, so that's what you expected to do. Just paste the whole HTML source there. Okay, let's go back to the question. The last one says display your web page, okay, in a browser. If necessary, resize it so that the entire page can be seen, all text can be easily read, and lastly, the address bar is fully visible. Now take screenshot of evidence showing your web page in the browser. Place in your evidence document. So let's go back to the code. Let's display this, open in a web browser. Okay, so that's the web page done, but it says you might need to zoom down. So to reduce the zoom, you want to zoom it down to fit in everything, but this looks really pretty small. It should be visible, so I like to just leave it down. We might have two screenshots. Let's have it this way, and let me do it screenshot twice. So let's get the sniping tool. Now it's important that the address bar is visible, so you're going to highlight your address bar, stop here, drop this as my first screenshot. Okay, I like both of it to be on a page, so I want to go to the next page. Then go back and then do another page, and then the sniping tool, and let's pick a new one. Right now they should start just below 1. Yes, and to the end of the web page. Now we can paste that in our evidence document. Right, yes, properly lapped properly. So with that, everything is fully visible. So the address is visible, the whole web page is visible, and every content can be seen in the evidence document. So once we've done that, I think that's about all for this HTML, for the website authoring. It's quite simple, but once again, please remember to practice. The more you practice, the better you get at doing this, and as locating all the tools around the environment. Good. Now, if you like what you've seen, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell. So anytime I release another video, you can always see